But I definitely have no idea what's going on yet.
Make sure no one's following, and then usher.
Well, Harmon's with us, I suppose, right, Harmon?
Of course.
Yeah, so unless you're gonna try like tricking Harmon away.
I have no deceit dice for this, so I can't really stop him. So yes, Harmon's here too.
You know, what's a funny thing is I have no inquiry dice. So I mean, if you want to go mind to mind,
I'm sure you could beat a D4.
You know what? Let's try it. Sheer overpowering of the mind. Oh, it's perfectly safe. I'm just showing him a new drink I've invented.
I mean, I would prefer you to come up with a better lie than that, because I don't know why I would go away for that. I mean, I'm rolling against you, but I just want to.
As a player, I can't think of a good.
Oh yeah, Harmon, go get some cups. Get one for yourself as well.
Can you beat a 1?
Yeah, very likely.
Oh my
Now,
God.
wait a second.
Hold up a second.
I've fallen for this trick before in other places. I remember specifically when there was a party where Gregory was trying to ditch me because he wanted to go drink with some lady. Flashback!
Okay.
An actual number this time. Someone got one.
You're not buying it.
I've fallen for this one before.
How many does that make, Harmon?
6? I don't know what you're asking me.
Only 6, huh? I guess you haven't fallen for that much.
Oh, no, I just meant 1 plus 5 equals 6.
Oh, dear.
These are the levels of genius we're dealing with here at the Gregory estate.
Well, yeah, everybody's following you. Everybody who's there, anyway.
Gregory.
Yeah.
And just think, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you're about to just like waddle in. It's like you're Kramer on Seinfeld or something. Guys, I got a great idea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say.
No one in the audience is going to get the reference anymore.
No.
Oh well.
Oh, and on the way into the room, readying misfortune. Might need it.
Okay.
And I imagine as I come in, there's Dax, and I go, "Oh, Dax! It's wonderful to see you again. You just fell straight off the radar. I guess in all the Civil War, I kind of lost track. I just assumed the Lady Chamberlain put you to something else."
This is where Spencer plays speed bump. While Gregory is reuniting with Dax, Spencer will kind of hover between Harmon and Gregory in a very conspicuous manner because that was a shitty deceit roll.
You're my lord. It's good to see you again. I hope that Spencer was able to explain my situation.
Yeah, I think he said you had a blonde drink to show me.
He just smiles at Dax.
I don't see the bottle, though. Oh, I mean, if you didn't actually bring any and he just wanted to bring me down to see you himself, we could go get a drink from the storeroom over here.
While Gregory, I almost forgot his name, was rambling, a little mind speech to the lion. This is serious. I knew no other way to get you up here alone. It didn't work. But Dax has something very important that you must learn. He told me he is a spy.
I imagine like the internal monologue for Gregory that no one gets to hear is, "Gasp, a spy, but Dax has always been so innocent and virtuous." But Gregory outwardly will like blink a little bit, like think and process, like their gears turning. You know, he maybe had a few to drink already, and he goes, "Why don't you come up to the office with me, Dax? I got a whole bunch of letters I'm writing right now. Oh, signing. Come on."
Oh, okay. Sure. He looks at Spencer. He looks at Harmon, and looks back at you, and it's like, sure. Will you? No. Yeah, he follows.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and look to Harmon Spencer. Go, Harmon Spencer. Okay, I'm serious about the drinks this time. I need you to go get them. And as we're passing the storeroom, I'll like point you off to the side.
Okay, what is your favorite?
I'm suddenly just in the mood for brandy today. I don't know why.
I'm also not your servant.
Well, you know the closet better than Spencer. You live here.
I don't live here.
Spencer almost does, but wait, what do you mean you don't? I always see you. Do you? I mean, do you not sleep?
I'm afraid I don't know where Mr. Gabriel keeps it, Brandy. I don't mind getting it for him, but Harmon, if you could help me find it.
Yeah, just get the drinks. I'm just heading upstairs, and so I'll go ahead and start heading upstairs.
I mean, I'm
That's
with him.
all.
I'm with you too. So, I mean, the
All right.
play to make
And then
Harmon
wait.
your servant is not going to fly.
Yeah. So then, once we get up to the room, I will look at Harmon and go, Harmon, if you would, could you wait outside for just a moment? I have a couple words I want to say just to Dax.
That's fine.
There you go.
You're right there.
Dax looks at Harmon, looks at you, at Gregory again, and it's like, oh, okay. Goes in.
Okay. And tell Spencer to wait. And I'll go in. I'll take a seat over like my desk and offer up the chair. I'll just like slide the massive amounts of letters off to the side and go, well, welcome back, Dex. So what did you find? Did we get to the heart of the conspiracy already, or am I just being hopeful?
It's more like I need protection.
Okay, well, as always, my arms are open.
But
And you're on Care Corwin too. You should be perfectly fine here.
Well, yes, if it, not for the fact that the reason I was part of your entourage was to spy on you, my lord.
Spy on me? He just starts laughing and laughing. Oh, someone thought I was important enough to spy upon?
Well, more to the point, my lord, that because you were up and coming in the ranks, whatever information you had, my handlers wanted to have a share. You piqued some. Not only apparently you piqued someone's interest, and that someone was King Edgar. The
Really?
now rebellious, or someone in his employ. And
Wow.
I had been passing information to them about the King's Chosen, yourself, anything I could get my hands on. But now that the war has erupted, I find myself conflicted that I do not want to serve a traitor, which makes me, well, a double traitor, I think.
I think double agent is the word? That has to be the word.
Well, I'm not passing information anymore.
Well, triple agent then, I think.
I quit the Queen's Chosen, and then I quit the working with King Edgar. But that means now they're looking for me. If I go to the Lady Chamberlain, then of course I would be accused of treason for good reason.
Treason, interrogated, probably hanged. I'm not sure what the punishment was anymore. I do have to say I'm positively tickled at the idea that the young king was at least interested enough in me, but I'm sure that was just a scattershot approach. But I'm going to leave that to the side, and let's take a look at the serious side of this. So you've been passing off information, but you're coming to me and you're wishing to come clean. I feel we can work with this. So when you left off, what was the last bit of information you were able to give them? I'm trying to place it in my mind. It's been some time.
I believe it's something to do with the investigation into the Lady Veritas.
Ah, yes, Lady Veritas. And did you tell them about everything there?
More or less.
Did that include the strange manservant?
Hmm. I I don't recall, my lord. Maybe
I
I.
suppose it seemed like such an insignificant detail, but I guess that's the only other person alive right now.
Hmm, yes, but
I
the
doubt.
thing is, what I got from my handlers, the little I could get from them, is that perhaps they don't know anything about this Lady Veritas. They were as curious about her or it or them as you were, but I wasn't able to dig much into them. But the more they asked questions, the more I realized that they were preparing for something, and that something has arrived. And I should have come cleaner sooner, but
Interesting.
a cat keeps his 9 lives by, well, being one step ahead of everyone.
Just what we have to go through, I suppose, but very interesting. So something's arrived for them, but they also don't know what the deal around Veritas was, I suppose.
Mhm. My guess is that they were
Very.
trying to use it in some way, but if they already had access to it, they wouldn't be asking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I think. I mean, I'm just someone who collects information and passes along. Well, I used to.
Yeah.
Now I don't anymore.
Well, I imagine there's probably still a fair bit of information you did pass on. I probably would wish you to make a full list of that if you would. Maybe there's something there that they could use to their advantage. I'd like to know, and as long as I know that they know, but they don't know that I know that they know, and I take a drink. As long as I can keep this all sorted, I think perhaps I could avoid any untoward assassination attempts, if that's what they're interested in these days. I wouldn't know. Uh, I don't think there's very much of state they could have gotten out from my own attempts. My own business. And definitely not any dirt from that time period.
So,
Hmm.
so there's that. But of course, that means I need to be protected, my lord, because again,
Right.
if they find out that I'm turning state evidence, they're going to try to eliminate me. And if the Lord Chamberlain discovers that I was spying on the King's men, King's chosen, well, that, like I said, it could end very badly for me. So I ran out of options. Like, there's nowhere really to go, especially now with all the shipping being under the control of the Navy. So, it's. I guess I can hide somewhere, but that's why I turned to you and see if you had anything you could help me with. I'm willing to put anything on paper that you want me to do. It seems only fair, but I do not want to lose my head or my life.
Okay. I think at this point in talking and making questioning and stuff, I'm probably looking for how genuine Dax is, which probably will turn out that they're being pretty genuine. But I'm gonna roll mind and inquiry just to see my gut feeling.
Go ahead.
Okay, I get 2 successes out of it.
You get the feeling that they're desperate enough not to lie this time around. I mean,
Mhm.
you get a sense of desperation, right? A barely controlled desperation.
Yeah. Alright. I've been thinking a bit too much about myself in this matter. Do you know if they're sending anything right now, or what they would do, or is it just the presumption they'll be after you?
Well, somebody already tried to kill me recently,
Ah,
but via crossbow bolt. I managed to dodge it. Didn't see who it was, but yes, they tried already.
I see. Well, fortunately, I have enough familial wealth that if I need to put you up somewhere, we definitely could, and probably just hide you in a hole for a while if that's what it really took.
Appreciate it. And back will be on your debt, my lord.
Of course.
I could.
I still remember you being capable and definitely highly intelligent. I'd love to have you on my side again, but of course you could understand maybe some reluctance after this, after learning what you've been up to. I'll have to consider very much what we could have you do in the future after we get rid of this problem.
Yes, perhaps in the fullness of time, I could help you some way. I mean, I do still have some contacts. I could pull on those strings carefully. And if I find anything, then I would certainly pass it on to you.
Right. I definitely foresee that the time will come where perhaps we will need to make some sort of move onto the island. And if you have connections, or some way for us to quietly get back to the island or wherever we need, then all the better we keep you alive, Dax. If not just because you're my friend.
Thank you, my lord.
I suppose I will have to make arrangements. Armin, you can come in now.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm just going to do that, and Spencer's probably back now with the drinks, and I'll go. So we'll need to find a place to put this up with. Spencer, this is one of our writs. You could probably extract a fair amount of money if you need to. See what you can pull up for Dax and begin some sort of preparation. I don't have the mind for it right now, but something needs to be done. You know what needs to be done. Spencer?
I'm sorry.
Mm.
I'm a bit nauseous, and my stomach was really distracting me.
Okay, I understand that. So, Spencer, I'm going to entrust you with some money, and I'm going to entrust you to do what you know needs to be done with Dax to find them a place.
All right.
And Dax, I'm sure you have some opinions as well.
Yes, I work with Spencer. I will do my best.
Very well. Spencer, keep me appraised, and we'll see what other preparations we need to make. Take it as seriously as you need to, Spencer.
Very well. And I guess we'll be making use of Dax's Streetwise to find more of an underground sort of place where he can be put up with that money.
Yeah.
All right. So Spencer will take care of that.
And talking about that, as you're coming out, basically, you cross paths with Duncan. Duncan, you see Spencer walking with a feline, male feline, but they seem to know each other, but you don't recognize the person they were with.
As I'm just passing in with my big pile of papers, I say, "Have a good time tonight."
Thank you.
And I go inside. I'm not going to make judge or assume anything unless if he tells me something. So,
That's right. Duncan has no idea that he's Dax's replacement.
No, I don't.
Yeah, keep it quiet for now.
Yeah.
So I guess you're just wandering up to Gregory then?
Yeah, I would just go inside. I assume I've been in this house at least once or twice before.
Yeah, I'm sure like the door guard will probably like let you in, tell you where I am, and
yeah.
I'm just up in the office with Harmon again. It's like, Harmon, what do you think of this? And suddenly you walk in. It's like, oh, Duncan. Nice
Sir,
to see you.
I've fallen for this trick before. You're not wearing any clothes.
I didn't need to see that actually, but
Just give me a moment. I'll put the pants back on. Changing it to the nightgown.
It's all right. I've seen worse.
Oh, well, that's such a high compliment.
I actually had thought I would talk to you about a couple of things I found. Have you been paying attention to what the people have been talking about lately?
I've been here signing letters all day, unfortunately. I haven't heard as much news as I've been a part of news lately.
Well, you're in luck, and I just start showing them all the pamphlets and publications and news.
No, more reading. Why?
That's all right. I read some of it already. Don't worry.
Oh, good.
Looks like there's a lot of anti-Calabrian sentiment that's starting to sweep through the people.
I could foresee that.
Yeah.
Who else is to blame?
Well, they're blaming them. They're blaming a lot of anti-church as well of Salmare, which I'm sure Brother Vesper's not going to be happy about. And
Yes.
there's also people asking about where the hell the mages are. Thought you might want to know that one too.
Warrant unsigned. Paper plane.
Mhm.
What's this about the mages?
Well, and I sift through the papers. I show them like the marching band article and the other articles you mentioned before about the discussions about the mages. Are they good? Are they not good? Where are they in all of this? And it says a lot of them seem to be doing like some weird think pieces here regarding the role of magic and mages all around the Isles. Apparently, like a lot of it's some pro, some con, mostly just wondering where the heck they are and how they fit into this.
I see. Very interesting. I've always been happy to spread my word about this, but maybe I need to talk with some other people and get them happier about me and my own performance. And maybe
Well,
I should hire a bard about now. I haven't done that in a few weeks.
I would actually take it a step further, sir.
Oh, yeah?
Why not just write an article yourself? And we can get it printed.
I suppose I could. It just loses so much effect when I'm not there to, like, literally shout it at people, though. Do you think I could just write it in all capitals?
All capitals I think would be too much in ink costs, honestly.
You're right. We should try to reserve as much ink as we can. I could try to make the argument. I can... that's going to be some work. I'll have to bring Spencer in on this, I think.
Also,
Vesper too, but I don't think Vesper trusts any magic at this point.
But there's also other papers too, and I show them like some of the Triskelion Times I got as well that are very pro Calabria, but they seem to be not getting traction. It seems like a lot of it is a lot of the folks seem to be focusing on the scapegoating of the foreigners and the invaders and usurpers here, which, considering the fact that we're basically in the middle of a civil war now, I guess is not surprising. But I don't know if it's necessarily something that we could afford to use as a enemy at the moment.
What do you mean? Calabria is already the enemy.
Calabria is the means to the end here. Do you think that Edward would actually let them be of influence? What if he ruled the Isles?
I don't think he has a choice.
Interesting. See, I figured he was just using them until he doesn't need them.
Reminds me a fair bit of myself when I was about a decade younger at this point.
How old are you?
24.
So when he was a teenager.
Yes. He's only a little older now, but he has that same sort of spirit. And he's more or less going to let himself get manipulated by others as long as he gets what he wants in name. If he can get whatever seat that makes him sound like he's the most important person around, it's not going to matter how many of Calabria's fingers are in his pie.
But
That's a lot of metaphors at once. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. I understand pies and things like that. But I'm just bringing this up because can we actually win this without Calabria?
Gregory's just going to like cross his arms and roll his eyes up to his head and think for a little bit and go, to be honest, I genuinely have no idea. Hey, Lessons, could I make like a mind tactics roll for like what my gut feeling about the way the war is going is right now?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I actually stumped you. Holy God.
Hey, 2 successes.
You think that while the usurper has a lot of foreign support, he still doesn't have both the territory and the control that he would need, right? That could change, right? Especially in the Southern Isle, if he's able to get them to join with them, then at least he get more resources, more soldiers, etc., and that could swing things, right? Right now, he doesn't seem to be in the position to attack directly Corwin. You remember how desperate that attack was with the fire ships?
Yeah, an incredibly expensive attack just to the assumption they could delay us.
Yeah, or destroy us in one hit. So, in the long run, I think the real problem is with any war is that you can win the war and lose the peace. Right? That the destruction, the loss of not only life but also resource, especially when we talk about food and stuff like that, could do more damage, could weaken the power structure far more than an outright lost. Because even if he wins, he would win. Whoever wins has to be very careful not to win over essentially the ashes, right? That's the real thing, right? So yeah, I mean, if you can contain them, if you can push back quickly, and the war is relatively short, yeah, you can win. And it seems that it's going that way. There will be difficulties, and by short I mean within a year, not within a couple of weeks or months. If we talk about a couple of years, considering already the couple of years that the island has suffered because of droughts and floods, yeah, and also because of what you know about this third party and their grandiose plans, which could erupt at any moment. That's I think that's the big unknown, right? They seem to be not helping them, but then in the end, it doesn't matter if they do whatever they're going to do anyway.
Right.
So yeah, it's the High King has the advantage right now, and if they can press that advantage, they'd be helping pressing that advantage. They can win, but it's how you win, how quickly you win, and what you do afterwards that's important. Those are the big questions, right? So
I'll definitely end up relaying that to Duncan. It's we have advantage right now, but victory is on a bit of a razor's edge, and it could easily sweep the other way. Because if the war doesn't conclude quickly, worse will happen to the island and weaken everything as a whole. Well, we could win the war, but lose the country.
But you've seen how weak the islands have been for a while now. Or am I just, blind to that?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. For a long time, weather has been getting worse, crops failure. This is honestly the worst possible time for this to have occurred, short of everything going up in flames preemptively, which I have no fault in, and I take no responsibility.
I smile at that, and I say, of course, sir. Why would you take responsibility for the flames?
Exactly. I'm just going to watch it burn, but... it's going to be very tough. And afterwards, it's going to be even tougher. And I don't know what we can do. Maybe if we got some other sort of assistant. Maybe we got some trade line to Acoma for grain instead of Calabria. At least then foreign powers would be pitted against each other instead of we have to deal with a whole other one.
Is that actually possible?
I mean, ships exist, trade routes exist. It'll just take time and expertise I don't have. And
can I ask a question, Lessons?
Go ahead.
Where, in relation to Calabria, are we?
You're to the south. You're to the northeast of.
So we're literally between Calabria and Zongao.
Ooh.
Yeah, so hey, that could also be a potential angle to pursue. Yeah, so Acoma, Zongao, literally anything else other than the people trying to take us over right now might be to our advantage. But that's a task for someone who actually is good at reaching agreements with people. I just shout at them until they listen.
Well, but Edgar doesn't seem like the king that would do that.
You're right. His stance, of course, is one of isolation, of warding the rest of the world away. I don't think that means he would reject an offer of grain if it came to him. But the question would be at what cost, and I don't think he would accept quite a many. Definitely not the kind that Edgar has accepted.
You mean Edward?
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I gotta get the names straight.
It's okay.
What about
The young
Xavier?
brat. Wait, who's Alexander?
Xavier is the.
Young
Oh yeah,
brat.
yeah. The young prince. Well, he's young right now. He's sort of a non-factor, I think. As long as he's happy, I don't think he's going to do anything himself. And if he's promised back the land that's due his birthright, then he'll get it, and I think everything should be fine. Actually, probably all the better he exists as a moderating voice. It's a shame that we've lost the younger son to this civil war and his own actions and grandiose desires. But this young prince we have, I think, ought to make a good ally for the future.
Remember, you have an invitation to see him.
That's true. I'm going to see him in the next couple of days. I've already sent a missive his way, arrangements are underway, and I'm sure we'll have tea or something of the like. Whatever the young prince has in mind. He's,
Is
of
that
course...
invitation extended for all of us, or just for you, sir?
Oh, good question. I think the implication was that we'd all be invited, or just Gregory?
Well, you can bring your entourage, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's like, I'll
you're
go.
a
It's
personal import, so
I'm invited, so all of my company is invited.
Okay.
And of course, I'm responsible for my company, which is why I tell Harmon to, keep quiet. You always got to tell him to.
That fucking
pipe down.
chatterbox Harmon
I know.
never fucking shuts up.
Just a mile a minute all the time.
Maybe it's something to bring up with this meeting with Xavier?
Oh,
Like-
what exactly would you want to bring up?
Well, I'm just going by the pulse of what the populace is going by at the moment here. And if we're already getting into anti-foreigner sentiment, that's... Look, and this is just, I guess, between you and me in this way. I'm all for the Druids. I'm all for the traditions
Mm-hmm.
for the Isles. But we can't shut ourselves away from everything, because that's what's kind of getting us in this problem in the first place. And there's already bigger powers out there that can just make us easy pickings if we're not careful. So we really need to walk that tightrope a little bit here to try and make the Isles much stronger than what it could be. And I'm kind of worried that, as traditionalist as Ager is, and as beneficial as that may be, that it might impede a lot of that progress for the future. I mean, take a look at this, and I point to the article calling for universal schooling in the marching band here. And I say, this idea here is a good one. There's benefits for people learning to read. It took me a long time to learn myself.
Of course.
Look at this printed letter that tells people that need to learn how to read.
I know. The irony. Welcome to the printing press times. But here's the thing. But look at what it says. To stem the tide of treason and wrong thinking. Isn't that a little dangerous in its own way? Shouldn't we not be worried about this?
Worried about what? People think wrong things all the time. All the better if we get them thinking the right way, calmly, logically, and with a little bit of brandy.
But do you really think people will always be calm, logical, and with brandy?
Of course. We just got to get the brandy flowing again. Did Spencer actually leave the cup? He didn't bring the drink. All this time, and I'm just... This is what the Lady Chamberlain feels every day. This is why she doesn't drink.
I would ultimately just suggest, Sir Gregory, if you have the chance to speak with young Xavier, or even Edgar himself, maybe bring up these ideas and think of a way where we might be able to at least get an advantage for us that can combat what's going on. But we
Well,
have to do it carefully.
you're invited to be in my company, and I think you could probably better speak your own ideas for yourself. I mean,
I'm
not that I won't
I'm not
support
a
you,
good
but that
speaker.
my head is completely full in these letters.
I can just say I'm not that good of a speaker, so I don't know if I can necessarily do that. At the very least, though, I would say maybe write up your own thoughts about magic. Maybe we can get that printed. I think that might be a good way to start helping with the stemming the tide. I can even think of a pen name for you if you like.
I don't think I need a pen name. I think all the better my name is directly on it. But I'll
Do you
see what
want
I can do
people
with
to
Spencer, and
know-
we'll get
do you
something
want
written, I
people to
think.
know- Do you want people to know you're a wizard?
They don't already?
Fair point.
I go around parading around in my robes. You think I'm hiding it?
Fair point. All right. Just a thought. Anyway, you enjoy the brandy, sir. I'm going to go sleep.
Absolutely, Duncan. And we'll see you. Well, I suppose I'll send you the letter when we're ready.
Sounds good, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I bow.
And
I
by the
also
way,
give Harmon
sorry,
a nod. Oh, go ahead.
to clarify, Dax is a cheetah, and cheetahs are very rare in.
We don't like cheaters around here.
Oh,
Dax, you cheater.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, Spencer, with the money that you're given and with their abilities, you can find like a safe house for them. They can road it between the two of you. Kind of a small shack, basically, somewhere. Not too big, not too small. But
Where
one
they'll
that
be
probably is that like in a
killed.
second.
Where nobody will know.
Yeah.
All right.
In a sort of second story where if Dax needs to escape, then they can go through a window and just go through the rooftops.
But you remember, shit, I was say Godfather. Not Godfather, the second greatest mafia movie ever made.
Goodfellas.
There we go,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. When Joe Pesci is about to get made. That's the safe house.
Oh.
You don't cross us, and you don't think you get away with it.
Yeah, so you do that. A couple of a day or so later, the invitations come. You make the arrangements, and you're invited to the castle itself, to Corwin, to see the young prince and their mother, who is the regent. Of course, she's no regent of anything because it's their government in exile at this moment. And the young prince is there, and he when he sees you, he wakes up. It's like, our saviors, welcome. My uncle has been our uncle has been very accommodating. Please take a seat. I believe there's drinks for you and everything.
It's good
And
to
this is
hear.
the
I'm
young
glad to hear
prince?
that you're doing well, young
Yes.
prince.
Okay.
The mother's there, sort of hovering over him, basically, but she's not saying anything. Letting him take the lead. I've also heard of your exploits against my uncle's forces. Is it?
Oh, you
Is it
have?
yes, it's news has reached us finally. And I'm curious, how do you find the situation over there?
Oh, it definitely is a situation of work and toil over on the younger prince's island. And I'm only glad that we freed them a bit from their labors now, given our actions. Let me recount to you the tale, and I'll give him, of course, the first hand and yeah, we dove straight out of the fire and everything.
Oh, most
Give him the sanitized version, of course.
father,
The mother's still here.
Our father, former king, he was fond of some adventure. He liked jousting, which, well, we all know how that ended. But tell me, Magister, what do you think of our propensity to return to our own island to be able to restore the peace? Do you think that would happen soon?
I think so. I think it'll be just a matter of time. I think perhaps within the year.
Really? See,
Or-
Mother?
Such
I
is my
told
hope.
you.
I'm optimistic at heart,
I
but I
told
think
you.
we
I mean,
have everything we need.
yeah, and you can see he has problems doing the royal we, right? He's not
Mhm.
used to doing it. And the mother sort of looks at you and looks at him and just kind of shakes her head. And it's like, she's not gonna contradict you, but at the same time,
Yeah, I see the look she's giving me, and I'm just like raising a little eyebrow back. It's like we know what we're talking about, but I'm trying to make the little boy happy.
good. I've heard rumors about the situation in the Western Isle. That soon they'll need someone to take leadership therein. And well,
This is true.
since you rescued me, I believe that I would support whatever endeavor you have in the future. We owe you that much and more.
I'm
So
flattered and honored, of course.
know that you have a friend in our court, even in exile, and that if you need I don't know, a recommendation, then I will certainly speak to my uncle forthwith on your behalf.
I could think of no one to hear a better, higher, to have a higher recommendation from than but you, my prince.
And knowing that, and he sort of motions, and they're running like a box. It's like I don't see, see everyone here who was participating in the rescue. So, well, and he gets up and he says he motions you forward, and there's basically medals. He has medals are not great, right? They're basically made very quickly, but I shall present you with the medals therein as a token of thanks. So everyone knows of your courageous actions and in our favor. Please, Sir Gregory, Lord Gregory, step forward.
Of course, and I'll go through the ceremony. I'm a noble. I have etiquette. I know how to accept a reward graciously and all that.
Put the ribbons, around your necks and stuff like that. And he starts with you, and then goes to Spencer. And basically, he goes by rank, right? Until finally, I think Duncan is the last one.
Wait, Spencer's above me? I didn't know that.
Oh,
I guess that's good to know. Or am I Chewy in this situation?
Spencer, you're wearing your
No, that's
your
got to be
robes, right?
Vesper.
yes, he's wearing his robes and the tabard atop them.
Yeah. So yeah, as a mage, he recognizes a mage as someone of a distinct.
I literally have rank. I'm a soldier in the military. I
Yeah, so
literally am in the. All right,
it's literally it's social rank. Not
I understand. I just want to know the pecking order, and
It's okay, you're third.
doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter after you're not second.
I mean, I'm dead last. Why am I complaining?
Yeah, you're a spy. You're not supposed to be known.
No, I'm not a spy. I'm a thief. There's a difference.
Oh yeah, one's a more honorable profession that helps the country. The other one is someone who robs from it.
I'm not robbing from you yet.
You're robbing from me every time you look at me. I see the looks in your eyes.
Oh,
I'm not a piece of meat.
Are we gonna fight again?
Again.
Oh dear.
Oh, you don't remember the Jade Claw game, do you?
I don't remember a lot of things. Also,
That's all right.
how many years ago was that?
7, 8.
Did we fight?
Yeah, we had like a brawl, the two of us, for our characters. This has nothing to do with this game now, apparently.
Yeah. No.
It lasted like 20 rounds because we couldn't kill each other.
Nice.
Okay.
Don't
I was
remember.
there. I have no context for this. So okay.
It's
Oh, neither do I.
But we go through the ceremony, right?
Yeah,
And,
brother Rafferty, brother Vesper, didn't go to a rescue, so he doesn't get a medal. So you know.
So there's your Chewy.
Yeah. And
That's right. Just before I die, I'll give him my medal. Pretend it was his.
And hopefully they don't retcon that into a movie.
And so you're given that. And it says, normally these situations we under more festivities and greater fanfare. But considering that I'm just only a guest here at my uncle's estate, well, this is only I can manage for now. But rest assured, and we are fully restored to our position, you will have the fanfare you have earned. Too bad that traitors. And he says, he said this bastard got away. To this day, I do not know why he betrayed us. But know that I will see him hang before I take my rightful place. It's the only
And
fate
I
that
shall
we
see
deserve.
it so.
Very well. Now, if you have anything to ask of me while you're here, please do not hesitate.
Of course, I do hope your time in my home has been so far accommodating. There's definitely plenty of places to see, and you could see the construction on the church going on right now too. It should be beautiful when it's done.
Yes, these members of Sumer, Father believed in keeping a balance between the new and the old, but you hear from his mother like, well, now your father was a wise man, and that's when he snaps. Like he got himself killed pretending to be a knight too, mother. And she sort of balks at that, reproach, but says nothing.
Mm-hmm. So I'll try to distract him back and help out the mother a little bit and go, and what are your opinions right now, however, young prince? What do you think?
I believe that while the members of the church mean well, the rank and file, there are those in power who are playing their own games. They should be observed, careful, to know where their loyalties lie. We have to know where every one of our loyalties lie at this moment when they're being put to the test.
Of course.
I stand with we stand with our uncle who helped us, who sent you to save us, and who has preserved us and will help restore us. Others,
and of course, you're no exception to, you're no stranger to the games being played. I see. You're very well studied. But such as it is, we'll have to keep playing and keep our eyes very close.
Oh, yes.
I do agree.
Well, I've taken way too much of your time. I have to go back to my studies. Just because I'm a prince doesn't mean that we do not need to learn more.
If you're lucky, maybe you'll leave me sent off to the university here and study another several more years afterwards, like me.
Oh, it's
Could only be so lucky then. I'll give a little wink.
I heard they have wonderful parties, and hear from the mother like, not good. And well, yes. Well, I hope you have a great evening, gentlemen. We hope that you have a great evening, and we shall see you soon. If there's any favor that you wish to ask of me, of us, with me, please don't hesitate.
I'll, of course,
we shall do our best.
To Duncan.
We shall do our best to carry it out.
Is Duncan going to be interested? Go ahead.
Well, the problem is he already revealed how he thinks, so I don't know if I should at this point.
Well, you could always make the case in front of him, but this is the opportunity to do it.
You're right.
He's willingly asking to open up his arms. Now you can try to convince him of something.
You're right. Young Prince, I don't know if have you been aware of the situation that has been going on around Caer Corwin? Regarding how the people are seeing the rise of Calabria and the Church of Salmer, and even you yourself said that there would be issues regarding the people playing power games with it. I bring this to you because I thought that perhaps one of the things that we could consider would be to maybe find a way to counteract the tide of Calabrians to us here. But that would require possibly finding support from foreign powers that would not go into meddling with the Isles.
I do not know which powers would do that. Not without getting something in return.
There's always that, unfortunately, and I unfortunately am not well versed in like the world of what those powers are. I know there's a nation to the east that is pretty powerful themselves, but I don't know anything about it. But I would be remiss if I didn't think that how much the Isles has kind of relied on Calabria for the past several years now, not just for food and supplies. And if they truly are trying to slowly take over everything in terms of leadership with your cousin Edward, perhaps maybe we should consider how we can counteract that without necessarily going to war with that nation.
We are, I sort of think we're not in position to or wish to war with Calabria. It is they who seem to be intervening in our affairs. Members, it is understandable that men and women of power would like to expand that power. But when you overstretch yourself, then you create more problems than you solve, I take it. I would have to we would have to speak with our uncle and see what the Privy Council thinks of this and himself. He is very much in the conservative mind. The Isles for the people of the Isles, which we understand, especially now with this pressure from Calabria made manifest. But perhaps this is a good idea. This might be something else that can be done, can be dealt with, and yes, it is a very good idea, and I shall explore it. As for the people, well, people are, as far as I know, angry, confused, and in need of leadership. We
All those are true, sir.
Not in a position to offer it, but through people of means and intent, such as yourselves, perhaps we are in a position to influence them in return. Your actions are to be lauded and celebrated, and if good news reaches the ears of the people, then perhaps their hearts will gladden and their resolve will strengthen. This is something I could help with. We could help with. If that were up to you, I mean, you would to agree to it.
I would look at Gregory on that one. And I guess if he's addressing me, I say, in what way do you mean to help, sir?
Well, we could speak to some of the printers and have a letter written by us detailing the rescue, our rescue, and also perhaps have some details of your recent actions as well. Load them with juicy adventures and perhaps daring do. People like that. We certainly enjoy good stories.
My friends, you've read my mind.
Would this be agreeable to you?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think if you give us the time, we'll have something ready for the printers in no time at all.
Very well. If you present a draft, we shall look over it and put our imprimatur into it. A signature.
Of course. Usually I'd hire a bard to talk pretty about myself, but I think I can do it myself this time.
Very well.
I nod and I say, "Thank you, young prince. May your days be very long."
Thank you. You
Or
have
something
given us
like
a chance. You have given a chance to enjoy those very long days, indeed. Now, and he looks over his shoulder, his mother, and is like, we are afraid that we have other business to take care of. So he stands up and think, well, I'm sure the guards will show you out. Have a pleasant evening.
And you as well, my prince.
Yep.
Okay.
Essentially, he's arranged for. He's going to write a letter that is going to get published in the broadsheets, several of them, using his position. Right. He doesn't really have a position of authority here, but he is a person of importance. So this is something that the broadsheets will certainly grab onto, and he's going to basically do. Exalt Gregory's actions and the actions of the heroes. Give a somewhat accurate description of his rescue, and probably throw a couple of
Yeah.
details about your recent mission as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple things we want to cover in there. Of course, like I'm great, but I think what I want to at least have slipped in there is that look at me, I'm so great and I'm a mage and I'm doing all this stuff to help you. Mages are your friends.
Okay.
And hopefully that'll help sway the public opinion a little bit on that.
With
matter.
his help, you can add a D8
Okay.
to your presence, and this will be, I think, will rather than mind.
Okay. Will is always good. Will and presence are my best selection of things. So we're already sitting on a D8 assistance, 2D8 plus D12 for presence. And what else shall we throw on here?
I mean, I have ideas of what we can put into the story a little bit, maybe.
Okay, what kind of thing are you trying to put into it? I assume you can roll also to assist. That would probably be good.
I'm terrible with. I'll probably be terrible with the assisting here. It's just mind and what now?
Presence.
Presence. Yeah, I only got a D4 in that, so I probably should not assist at all.
Okay.
What I would suggest to Gregory is that perhaps maybe we could gently suggest things here or there regarding the importance of, at least for Brother Vesper's benefit, the importance of the Church of Salmer at this time and how it's been helping, or at least in the rank and file.
Yeah, I think we could probably say the collection of the church folk are doing their best and aren't to be necessarily blamed. They can be on our side. I guess so that makes us three things then. I'm great, mages are good, local clergy's probably okay, y'all.
Something like that.
Okay. So I guess
eloquently put.
Yeah, so those are our three main points: our fear of surprise and fanatical devotion to the Pope. So far we're just rolling presence on this. I suppose academics for some flowery words would make sense. And let's see. I suppose I could start adding in my extra dice on this. I am a noble. My word probably carries weight. Yes or no?
Yes.
This isn't an authoritative missive. I'm not telling people to obey me no matter what, so that doesn't apply. This isn't necessarily a party. I don't think etiquette applies necessarily. Heraldry doesn't, and I think that's literally everything I have. I can't give everyone a gold piece for listening to my story. So we got a pretty good dice pool. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes already.
Okay. You talk yourself. Let's go in order. You did 4 on your talking yourself as being heroic. Yeah, did a very good job. When it comes to talking about mages, you sold it. You went above and beyond. And talking about the church as well, you did fairly well.
Mhm.
And finally, with the last four, basically you rounded up your argument of things are going to get better. We're the winning party. Don't worry about it. We're dealing with the
I have
situation.
hope,
We're on
for
top
if
of it.
such a fool as
Yeah.
I can foresee victory, then surely the might of all of us together will see it through.
Yeah, and so that becomes it gets splashed everywhere. Again, most people can read, but say 1 in 10, 1 in 20 can read, and they read to other people, and word spreads around, right? So the Brushies really are very good at getting that message very quickly, and then from there, it spreads like wildfire.
Mhm.
But it's a little bit like telephone, right? So at the end of the day, what really resonates is the role of mages, right? And so in the other bridge, it's like, yes, mages are part of the army, and they're working. And we have some of the best magistrates, like Sir Gregory, who is a mage and has participated. And some other news, some about you about participating in naval battles and taking the fight to the enemy. But the angle that you're a mage and that's important. That's the one that really becomes the one that dominates the talk for the next week or so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can't be happier. People are talking about me.
But the way it happens is that they kind of talk about you as an example.
Right.
You have become, ironically,
football.
Yeah, you become sort of like the generic example of a mage, right? They're talking about mages in general, but they talk about you as like, this mage, Gregory, did this, right? It's like, oh, well, mages are great. They're not saying Gregory is great, they're saying mages are great. You just happen to be one, so you get slapped in the back because of it. But
there's transitive property. Good enough.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years from now, we'll be hearing stories of Gregory the Mage by children's circles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the
that's
wizard
how
behind the
folklore
king,
begins.
like Merlin before him. Now Gregory, the drunk.
So yeah, you get some messages. You usually get some messages from your friends on the college universities, like, "Oh, we read this thing you wrote. It's wonderful. Thank you for talking about."
It's spreading to Calabria too.
No, the university. There's a university here in
the university here in Caircorwin.
Yeah, there's like 2 of them over in Calabria, and one of them has like kind of half set up shop or like branched out, but it's not exactly like under their control or something.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
And so that's there's that. Spencer, as you sort of coming back and being part of this, you do notice, both you and Duncan notice that the mood has changed a little bit to the better. But since one thing that you didn't talk about was about the foreigners, you do see that strong sense of anti-foreigner sense has remained, but now has sort of been veered closer to merchants and maybe some people of, and essentially anybody who's seen as a foreigner who is equal or better than the average person tends to take the ire of it verbally, but but the people who take the ire physically are the people actually who are not better than anyone else, like the poor and the weak, right? So people talk up about, hey, those foreigner merchants who are doing all these things, and we have to depend on them, but they actually start preying on people who are who can't defend themselves, right? Like the poor and the like, right? So yeah, you redirected the anger, but the anger. Remember, all this anger is based on people being hungry and anxious about the war and all that. So those things have not been resolved. So so that irritant is still there, and people look for outlets for that. In fact, you even get called because as King's men, maybe to a couple of these situations and some aftermaths, people getting beat up, etc., robbed, beat up, that sort of thing, and you kind of spend the balance of the week doing the more mundane jobs that have to do with being a magistrate and a member of the King's Chosen, right? Particularly instead of the
our warrants.
I mean, I'm fine with that. If I could stop people from, beating the crap out of each other, that is a good thing.
Oh, I think we actually lost Leston series. He's actually frozen.
Oh.
No, he's just really deep in thought. Give him a second. He'll reboot.
And surprisingly, my computer didn't crash today.
Yeah. Wow. Miracles every day, huh?
I don't know. And now, of course, now that I said that, like 5 minutes from now, I'll disappear.
Yeah.
I know.
But I think we did pretty well with what we got right now.
You think we could angle? You think we can maybe angle a goal to get the people to stop beating up foreigners or something like that?
Why would we do that?
I don't know.
Why would we do that? I know you wouldn't do that.
No. Well, I mean, I'm pro-isolationist. Again, as I pointed out in chat, we're technically more advanced than the most advanced faction in Calabria right now, so we're like a reverse Japan situation going on.
Like, which ways do you think we're the Isles are more advanced right now?
Technologically.
Oh, and there he goes.
We're more
like,
technologically advanced than the Bisclavariat, which are the most advanced technologically of all the Calabrian factions. So,
I guess, like, which technologies is what I'm trying to figure out.
well, we've got bigger and better ships. We've got more gunpowder weapons and better ones than apparently they do. We're pushing on gunpowder technology that Akoma has, and they're the most advanced in the world right now, let alone Calabria.
I guess most of the guns that have been on the field have been basically in the hands of our opposition.
That's very true. We've kind of just been taking them in requisition.
Still, though, the point being that we're very strong, and an isolationist attitude's very befitting when you're already on top.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it helps us keep our national identity rather than being, muddled by outsiders.
Yeah, the bigger thing is like the lack of resources, where we're slowly seem to be draining of like literally everything because the land is dying and druidic bullshit like that.
You know what though? Land's dying because we're getting muddled by outsiders. Their church is coming in and it's diluting our national pride. And if you might remember, that whole druid nonsense that you just mentioned is also our national identity. The land is dying is a whole druid motif, and maybe if we just reinstate the proper power on the throne, the land will come back to normal, and we can get rid of those fucking interlopers, that is the Calabrians.
Look, I'm here for the festivals, and that's all that matters. I'm gonna let the magical stuff be handled by other people. I'm just gonna light stuff on fire.
I'm just waiting for Harmon's monologue about Sicily in a few minutes.
Look, all I want to say is you'll just meet me down at the beer hall. I have a few things I want to say.
I don't drink.
Neither do I. I'll meet you there.
All right. See, the problem is, like, my character's kind of in the middle. Like, he won't... Like I said before, like, it's hard to explain. You believe, but you can't shut out actual progress. You can still believe while having the progress.
The thing is, again, we're already far more progressive. Not progressive. We're far more... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, so I want to keep on saying progress.
No, you actually did... You used the right word there, progressive. The country's not progressive. We may have the tech, but we don't have the mindset.
Well, we don't need the mindset.
I disagree with that.
We're in the right already. We don't need to be progressed. You don't need to progress any further when you're already at the end stage of being right.
But then you get stagnant again, and then what happens?
Yeah, but we're already on top. We'll only stagnate to where everybody else is.
But we won't always be on top.
That's a problem for the next generation.
I'm trying to plan it out for future generations.
Why? You're not going to be alive. Don't worry about that.
My kid will be.
You're not going to have kids.
The Isles flooding isn't real.
You're divorced, aren't you?
No, I have a wife and a son.
Yeah, but you never see them.
I send them money and letters all the time.
Cool. I hope the other man likes that. I hear he's got strong hands.
That was a low blow, sir.
I hear he's got strong hands. He's good with tools.
Well, at least he's not a fucking donkey.
I'm a mule.
Oh.
I can't have kids.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, a donkey can have kids. A mule can't. I'm a mule.
So
I am
So when-
impotent.
so when Harmon and Duncan have this bar brawl, how quickly
We're
is
not-
Duncan just thrown out the window?
Probably very quick. But then again, Duncan does have a pistol.
That's cool. You think you can take me down with a single shot? I don't.
I got a good shot though.
You're like shooting.
Eh.
This is basically shooting the Hulk, right? You're just gonna make him angry.
I know.
So I leave for 5 seconds, and there's already a brawl. Okay.
We're not really brawling.
Yeah,
No.
this is all just theory
We just had.
crafting.
Well, it's not theocratic. We were just having a debate about the future of the Isles, which quickly turned into your wife is fucking another man.
I love to see that. Just that's the angle Harmon like immediately goes to.
Wow.
I mean, that shows the mindset of Harmon in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, I was raised to be a soldier. What do you want? I wasn't on the streets stealing from poor people.
So basically, Harmon goes, "Hey, you know Jody? And if you know anything about basic training, you're gonna get that joke otherwise."
Oh, was that? See, I don't remember her name. I just know the
Jody.
pictures,
Yeah.
and then
Jody
the
is-
porno as well.
Jody
God.
is the guy. I don't know why I call Jody. He's the guy who's always going behind the back of the guy who's in basic training, or the gal, and doing their wife or girlfriend while they're in basic training.
Oh, I was thinking of the girl who had the picture taken with the guy who's got out of basic, wearing the same outfit she was wearing in a porno that she shot earlier that day.
Basically the same situation. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm completely
Ironclaw,
lost.
the
I don't
Isles,
know
the porno.
reference.
Both very real things. I mean, we're not making
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
up.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure.
So, talking about that, actually, you're gonna receive a letter from your wife, message from your wife.
Oh.
Please don't tell me that she's in a porno now.
No. We're not that advanced in
Thank
in
God.
the Isles.
Anyway,
Someone
And-
drew her
So there's
in
a lot
multiple
of-
pamphlets.
drew her like one of the Calabrian girls, and basically she sends a bit of. Actually, no, she just says thank you and it's asking basically when can you visit because you haven't seen her in close to a month now. It's like where the hell
I
are you?
will. We have downtime, right?
Yes.
Let's go visit.
Downtime for some downtime.
You have any kids?
Yes, I have a son.
And so yeah, you arrived, and she described for us your lovely wife and child.
So she's a young tigress, and well, younger than me slightly, like a year or two. She's a tigress. She is black furred tigress with so it's like an opposite color type of thing, like black furred more than the typical orange furred type of stripes thing. Fair skin, or excuse me, fair fur in terms of it. It's like not coarse. She has amber eyes like me, and yeah, she's pretty good. She's she herself is also like pretty well, I guess, built, I guess would be the way to describe it, if that makes any sense. Like she could put up a fight if she had to. She's not like incredibly like wafy, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, she's
Like stocky, I guess, if that makes. And same with the son. He's a little stocky as well. He's about the prince's age actually, so he'd be about like 7 or 8. And little, like I said, a little stocky. He's all black furred. He has a brighter shade of yellow eyes, and that's all I got on what he would look like.
When you come in, you have, I guess, a modest home.
Yeah, it's nothing special.
She's cooking a broth and a meat broth, and she sort of dips her claw into it. Like, oh, Robert, finally, you're here.
Robert.
Sorry, Duncan.
Sorry,
What have you been
thought you were the
seeing?
other man.
No,
Your man is
seriously.
myself.
cheating
with
myself.
No, seriously.
Duncan, you're here finally. I get to cook for my husband in a while, even though you don't seem to like it that much.
No, I actually do enjoy it. I apologize. It's been crazy. I mean, I assume you got the last letter, obviously, about where we were.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what's been going on. I've been worried about you guys. That's why I keep sending you stuff, just so you can, at the very least, make sure that the house isn't taken or anything like that.
Oh, that's not to worry about that, dear. And you can see she's actually wearing the ring, but she's not wearing in the proper, finger. She's wearing the smaller finger because the ring was made for daintier hands.
Yeah.
But she has it on. It's like, I thought about selling it, but it actually looks good on me. maybe I'll have around do a chain thing. That might be fine.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Yes. But I have to say, I'm a little worried, Duncan.
About what?
These stories you tell in your letters. This Gregory fellow, nobles. You know how I feel about them.
Yeah. I mean, the best I can say is that, as pompous and vainglorious and so full of himself Gregory is, he actually does care. Deep down, he actually does care. And I made my wife faint.
Well, to care, how could you? I thought we knew you better.
At the end of the day, it's the thing that I guess I worry about the most is being hurt.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
No, it's all right.
Yes. So you were saying about your pompous, vainglorious master.
I mean, because he is. But like, if you ever meet him, you would see it right away. He has like a very self-centered attitude. See, I can say this because he's not here right now and definitely not listening. But
I would be concerned if he were. It'd be scary.
No, he's not. He's a pussycat, literally. Like I said, in all seriousness, he actually does care about the people, and he is concerned about what's going on. He's doing good work, and the fact that I got transferred over to him is honestly probably a lot better than the previous position. I mean, working with Michael and all those other guys, was not that fun.
I remember he came over that one time and called me a pussycat.
Yeah, and
I almost slapped the living fur out of him.
Well, that's all right. I slapped him afterwards anyway.
Good.
You know me, dear.
You were far gentler than I would ever have been.
Who said I was gentle?
Compared to me, you are the pussycat.
Oh, I guess I am.
But I worry. In all seriousness, we both worry. He's out playing, of course. But
Has he been using the bow?
Yes, he has.
Good. I got to teach him a few things here and there.
But I was also thinking maybe we can get him an apprenticeship. Learn a trade.
That's definitely not a bad idea. I think I can maybe do something with that. What kind of trade are you thinking of?
Oh, he's good with his hands. He likes to carve things. Woodwork, perhaps?
I'm thinking to myself, and I say I can definitely ask and see if I can do that. I think by now, like, most of the debts that I owed is probably getting there, so I think I maybe can get some sway in there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be good. with everything that's going on, the sooner we get him into something like that, the more he can earn a living. We won't be there for him forever,
I know.
and he should not have to walk the path that we have walked.
I know. Especially me.
But you were a pussycat back then.
Well, some old habits are hard to kill, you know.
I think you never tried.
Only if you ever wanted me to.
I never said I did. No. She starts serving up the broth, right? It's basically lizard broth, and yeah, I mean and they talk and she kind of makes a couple of probing questions about what you're doing, you're really doing, etc. But if you deflect it, she doesn't push it, right? It's more about having this time, and your son comes in from play outside, and you have a lovely evening,
I would tell her most of it because I don't like lying to my wife. That's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the things I would leave out would be more of the rougher, gruesome details. Maybe like putting people on fire or whatever stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would also leave out the details of me stealing things. Mostly for the
no
benefit
war
of
crimes.
Well, mostly for the benefit of my son. I don't need little Blair actually knowing what I do. Or what I did. What I still do. Anyway.
Quick, tell him about how great Gregory is and how he should learn fire magic.
I don't think he has wizard training, unfortunately.
So with that, I think it's time to wrap it up. Start wrapping up. So yeah, we leave. The camera pulls back, and you having a lovely evening in your home.
Cool.
Probably near, but not at the city itself. And that's the end of our session. Well, not technically, because we have to do end of session things. So let's do that, shall we? Let me read this message real quick.
Well, that was a lovely time with my wife. I hope nothing bad happens to her.
Why is it that people think that just because you had a lovely time with somebody, they're going to get horribly murdered and skewered and tortured? I mean, I don't know why people think that. It's a horrible thing to think.
Definitely nobody important is going to be in any danger whatsoever, ever.
No, she's going to encounter Spencer, and Spencer's going to read her mind, and he's going to see all the terrible things that she's done while you've been away.
And then he's going to charge money for the secrets.
Oh, no, you're going to hold on to them. Because the best secrets are the secrets nobody knows.
Harmon is so jealous that I have a wife in this game.
Why would I be jealous? I literally can't have kids. I'm impotent.
Before we go too deep into the scandal, let's just go over the mottos real quick.
Sure.
I'm Gregory.
Motto is, I know what your wife has done.
Wow.
Look, I'm the best side man, right? Because you can hook up with me and you know you can't get kids.
Hey, Ractus, I missed you. Anyway,
I'm risk-free fun.
So let's start with Duncan. What is the motto, and how did that play out today?
My motto is charity begins at home, and everything was related to home today.
So very much, yeah, that's a point right there. Gregory, you want to be the king. You're fit to be the king.
I'm fit to be the king, and hey, the pathway's just slowly opening up for me here. There's even 2 positions that are technically open. Maybe I'll get both.
Don't get greedy now.
I know. Well, we'll see how it all goes.
Spencer?
Yes, the best secrets are those you're not known to keep.
See, are there any secrets that... Well, you try to keep Dak's secret for a little while anyway.
Until it turned out to be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I could have handled that better, yes, but hindsight is 20/20.
No problem.
Unless you die with it. In case you didn't learn anything.
Yeah. And Harmon, I guess everybody in the dockyard shipwrights were in the fight of their life. They were, literally everybody knew that they were in the fight of life. They didn't know there was you involved in that, but holy shit, they had to run.
Don't know now that it's in the papers.
My motto applies until I die. Because I'm in the fight of my life until I'm dead.
Yeah.
Literally every day that you're alive is a fight.
Talking of which, goals, things that you accomplished. You accomplished 2 goals today. So that's a double whammy right there. You were able to destroy the ship, and you were able to
get the food.
Get the food.
Didn't know that was a goal.
It was.
Yes, it was.
Well, I mentioned it.
They were both separate.
And I believe you get a connection with the Society of Plenty for the food.
Yeah, that was the one you were pitching last time, so that's good.
But the one about the and you already have one with the prince. That was the last one that you get. So I'm gonna have to talk about that over.
Here's one that's relevant to the stuff we're doing: sabotage.
That's nice.
What was the insider with?
With Society of Plenty. Society of Plenty.
Society of Plenty.
The Society of Plenty. Yeah.
Okay.
Sabotage would be very useful for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it doesn't require a keystone.
I don't think so.
I thought it did.
We'll check it out. That shouldn't be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, you're right. Requires streetwise. I'm thinking of other editions where it's freebie or freely given. Okay, so let's think about it.
So, new goals will be established. You already have the existing established goal of dealing with the Great Conspiracy, so that's always a goal. And we'll talk about in the next session when we start what new goals. But now that also the idea, and then we're now rolling to the briefing. Now that new lands have been opened up in the way we're thinking about it, maybe it might be time to take a little boat trip somewhere.
That could definitely be a possibility. Do a couple adventures somewhere, come back with a haul of loot or something.
Yeah. And but I the reason why I delayed it was that because Rafferty is not here, he's running his own game up. So I thought it would have been unfair for, oh hey, you're in a boat, and it's like, oh, you're starting the mission, you're in the middle of the ocean. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, this is also a really good stopping point in general too.
Yeah. So you as you can see again, the situation is progressing. Gregory's storyline is progressing. I also like what Duncan is doing. I do have to focus a little bit more on Spencer. I know that that's fallen by the wayside a little bit. Dax was a way to sort of introduce that, a character that was there before for people who know, the person playing Dax. Well, they had other things, and they're not available. But I personally had a great time when they were playing. Dax was an interesting character, which I wish we could do more with. Maybe we can do this as an NPC. But
yeah, there should be something interesting here.
I'll do something, that they're actually think about Dax as a resource, as a connection, a resource you can tap in the future, right? They basically owe a favor to Gregory.
I completely forgot that Dax was Hidden's character. When you were saying Dax, for some reason I kept thinking Duncan.
No, that was Dax. And
I just changed my name at this point.
Yeah. Robert Duncan Dax.
It's the D, man. I'm always thinking about the D.
Oof.
See, I actually just picked the name Duncan because you said, because I remember, you said, this is kind of almost like a Scottish-Irish sort of equivalency type of region. So I thought, Duncan, that's a Scottish name.
Yeah. There can only be one.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're going to have Highlander reference in every game.
I've been purposely avoiding them.
No, don't. Give in. Do horrible.
Anything else that anybody wants to add?
Just out of for the I guess out of character for this a little bit, but getting my son an apprenticeship as a carpenter or something like that. I'm presuming that's not a goal at all, right?
That's more of a personal storyline kind of thing, right?
Yes. You could always open up and say this is a good chapter point to give everyone back a personal goal they can decide if you really wanted to.
Robert, if I could make a suggestion for you.
Sure.
Take the gift of ally and make it your son, because it's the only way you're going to save him from getting murdered.
Oh my god.
You know, I in the back of my head, I did think of that, but I wanted to just let it ride and see if I can get him to go to Care Corwin for a little bit. To see
Or
if we
even
can get
Gang of
him to
Irregulars, save your whole family. But I mean, don't, because your wife's cheating on you.
Okay, you can stop now. In all seriousness, though, like, no, I can definitely like. I was thinking about getting Ally and maybe bringing him along, but I might actually go against that for now because I do have other things I wanted to take care of.
So yeah, so I hope everybody had a good time. I
Sure
always like
did.
to thank my wonderful crew of the Isles, who I'm having a ball running for you guys.
Yeah.
And I think shout outs are in order for those who have them. Anybody?
Hey, I'm Griffin. I do the co-stream here with Theta. I'm gonna totally steal his thunder and say, hey, come and watch us on Sundays and Wednesdays. We got a whole bunch of games. We usually have some beta tests or something fun going on Wednesday mornings. Afterwards, we have Eclipse Phase, which is just now getting started, followed by Zwayhander. And on Sundays, of course, we have Hackmaster, followed by this Ironclaw, and followed by board games. Join us next week as we will resume our board game adventures.
Yay!
Terra Mystica.
Yay!
And come Monday night, I will begin my series of research streams. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to research KOTOR 2, which means I have to play KOTOR 2. I'm going to call it research stream because if I call it what I want to call it, Twitch will say, no, you can't write that because the algorithm doesn't like it. So, yes, if you want to watch me research KOTOR 2, you can do that from Monday to Fridays. And, of course, I'm here jamming on Sundays. And on Tuesdays, we have the Lessons Learned podcast when we talk about video games, news, and commentary. So thank you, everybody. I hope we have a pleasant Sunday.
You're not advertising that book anymore?
And also, you can find Knights and Stars on Amazon Kindle for 99 cents.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And well, just a quick shout out. I write for the website techraptor.net. It is, besides the name, it actually is a video game and board game and tabletop centric website. You can check out news, previews, reviews, interviews, editorials, all that fun stuff. I actually just wrote a 3,000 word article about Pathfinder Kingmaker, which is actually coming up again for re-release on the consoles.
Oh.
So, yeah, so check that out. That's part of my work, but don't just read my stuff. Read everybody's, because it's pretty good stuff
Hey,
there.
Robert, didn't you once write a book for Sanguine Games?
I did. That was a very long time ago. I wrote a supplement book for Myriad Song called Myriad Aliens.
Yeah.
And or helped write that book. There was a team of writers. I just happened to be the one that put it all together. And yeah, I wrote for Sanguine Games as well. Also on behalf of Rafferty, sanguinegames.com. New Ironclaw book has just been funded successfully on Kickstarter, the Book of Corals, and will likely be released soon. Who knows when? I don't know for sure. I'm not
Hopefully
Rafferty.
soon.
And shout out to Rafferty, who's probably kicking some butt in Gen Con right now, virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ark, aren't you doing something on our poll?
Yes, I am. I'm running a play-by-post book game, that is set to run through the Book of Adventures, published by Sanguine Games for Ironclaw.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for writing lessons, and we'll catch everyone next time.
Bye-bye.
See ya.